Marty Palman and Jack Da Silva for all the exciting play-by-play action beginning at 7 p.m., followed by the tip at 7:30. It's Gainesville at Forest on Tuesday night, a boys high school basketball district showdown right here on Florida Sports Talk, the team in Gainesville and Ocala.
Some people can't handle sports around the clock. If they only knew what they were missing.
Florida Sports Talk Radio, 100.1 FM and AM 900 in Ocala, AM 1230 and 92.1 FM in Gainesville. Or on your smartphone by downloading the TuneIn Radio app. You're listening to WGGG Gainesville, WMOP Ocala, W261BA Ocala, W221DX Gainesville. This is your Florida Sports Talk station.
This Fox Sports Radio update is brought to you by Pomodoro Cafe. Located on 39th Avenue in Gainesville, for savory menu items, check out PomodoroCafe.com.
3 in a row. There were 3 injured players missing by the Spurs last night. They still won their game. Manu Ginobili back tonight, according to the San Antonio Express News, which says Kawhi Leonard is probably back tonight as well. Utah had won 6 in a row until a loss last night there at Denver. Anthony Davis of New Orleans with his quad injury did practice today, expects to play tomorrow. He had missed last night's win over Cleveland. We're brought to you by TrueCar. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Go to TrueCar.com. I'm Steve DeSager.
Florida Sports Talk is broadcasting live from the Pomodoro Cafe studios. Pomodoro Cafe, located on 39th Avenue in Gainesville. For savory menu items, check out PomodoroCafe.com.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
Better, stronger, faster.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Hey, what if the voice calls while you're gone?
Take a message.
Bye.
You ready, champ?
I'm ready for this my whole life.
I'm incapable of small talk. But that's why you love me, right?
Kind of intimidating to be in the presence of so many great athletes.
And now, here he is, the host,
Buddy Martin.
Hello, welcome to the Buddy Martin Show on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network. I am Buddy Martin, along with Tom Schmitz, Hunter Turner, intern David Nash, and Kevin is still hanging around, so he'll be here for another 30 seconds. We're coming to you live today from the WMOP Ocala and WGGG Gainesville Southern Pigskin Radio Network studios. We broadcast every weeknight from
6 to 7 p.m.
Very good, thank you, Tom. From Williston, Florida to Blackshear, Georgia, and a few places in between, including Brunswick and the Golden Isles of Sea Island, Jekyll Island, and St. Simon's Island. Hey, how are we looking on Facebook out there, folks? Check us out. We'll give you a way to get in touch with us. You can click on Facebook Live. The Buddy Martin Show is one of those things, and we can come to your home, live and in color, or wherever you are on your device.
You think people want me in their homes?
Good point. Maybe is there a way to crop it out?
Just saying.
Yeah.
You really want me in your home?
Very good point. Thanks to our director, Brendan Martin, for his good work. We're now wired for this. Sounds, pictures. And also, Brendan Martin today with some new bells and whistles on the show, so listen up. We're going to get some new stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Tomorrow, it's a Daniel L. Hightower Wednesday on the Buddy Martin Show, presented by Daniel L. Hightower, lawyer fighting for accident and victim justice since 1976. It's a special day because we have former colleagues of ours from Gator Country. Laura Rutledge of ESPN joins the show, and Derek Tyson, if all goes well, from ESPN will update us on the recruiting, which, by the way, so far is not doing all that great. But good show tomorrow. And by the way, not a bad show today either.
No, not a bad show at all today. I'm so enthralled with how good I look on Facebook Live that y'all do the show. I'm just looking. Look at this.
So why don't you just put it in the corner over there and have your own little narcissistic moment, and we'll let that go. So, hey, Woody Page joins us today. Woody is of all places. He's in Vail at the Stedman Clinic for where you have these knee operations. These famous athletes and skiing and skiers have these bad wrecks and tear up their knees, and he's at the Stedman Clinic. He's going to find out. I was going to find out what kind of surgery he's going to have on his knee and he said he was watching himself on TV on Around the Horn. He said, I'm terrible, he said, watching himself on TV. So I know the feeling about that. But, hey, okay, guys, are you wishing now that the Super Bowl was this weekend?
No.
No.
No?
Nope.
Not ready for it?
Nope.
Nope.
Don't you think it loses a little steam to go this long?
Nope.
I like waiting, personally. I've always liked
waiting.
Well,
good. We'll put it off to 2 more months, and you can really enjoy it.
But,
yeah, exactly.
The NFL tried that 1 week layoff before.
We've tried it both
and it
ways.
didn't work.
Yeah.
I like the 2 week layoff. It's how they've always done it. It gives the teams time to heal anybody that may be injured from the NFC and AFC playoff games. It's just a natural flow, buddy. You get this stupid game in between that used to be at the end of the season, but now it's the most useless all-star game that there is.
Orlando's own.
Oh, I love it. It's going to be in Orlando. It's great. It's great. Who's watching it? Let's be honest. You watching it?
No.
You watching it, Hunter?
No.
I did find a friend last night that admitted he bet on the game. I said, what kind of dummy are you betting on the Pro Bowl?
Really? I turned it on last year. I thought it was Dancing with the Stars.
It might have been.
Because there's no blocking and tackling.
None. There's less defense in that game than there is in the NBA All-Star game.
They got to fix that. There was a time before each athlete made $90 million a year when it was fun to see them play and play competitively.
Well, didn't they get like a $25,000 bonus or something for playing in the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, that was big money then. And there was a time, by the way, when the college All-Star game.
Here we go.
When they played the college All-Stars against the Packers or the Browns or whatever. I went to a couple of those games.
They didn't
like
the outcome a couple times.
1 year they did beat them.
Yeah, they didn't like the outcome 1 year.
Yeah, so, but that was a bad idea because now they're all high-round draft choices. They won't even play in the bowl games, let alone go play in those kind. And they shouldn't. There's too much money to stay. The whole thing needs to be revamped, just like the All-Star baseball game. We don't like that system where the winner gets home field advantage in the World Series.
You know what? You know what? You really need to get into 2017. Baseball's done away with that. That's no longer part of the All-Star.
But I'm saying it was a terrible rule.
It is a terrible rule,
it was a terrible
and now
rule.
it's gone. They may have listened to you.
We don't want that in football.
Did you send the commissioner of baseball a letter? Because that's why they may have killed it.
On the phone.
That's why they may have killed it.
Hunter, did you like that rule where the winning team got home field advantage?
No, it was just. I have so many problems with so many rules right now, buddy. We could do a whole 3-hour
there you go.
show on that.
We're not ever doing a 3-hour show again. Okay, let's just clear that up. Clear that up.
All right, guys. Before we go into our news and got a new introduction for Tom. Anybody got any favorite actors or movies? The Oscar nomination coming out. I have mine. Viola Davis. She made history today by becoming the first African American actress to be nominated for 3 Oscars. She's in that movie Fences with Denzel Washington. I saw the trailers. Wow, she is really good.
Is that the one she got nominated for?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that I've seen La La Land. Mm-hmm. It's a really good movie.
Apparently, 14 nominations.
It really is a good movie. And Ryan Gosling all of a sudden is announced. I'm just as big a star as this Pitt and Clooney guy.
Okay. I don't think so, but that's good.
He thinks so.
Yeah. Hunter, you got one?
Buddy, I've always been a fan of Viola Davis, and Denzel Washington's probably one of my all-time favorite actors, along with Samuel L. Jackson. I just have been fans of those two for a long time.
He hadn't got a mic over here, but how about David? David, you got one? You can shout it out.
Donald Trump.
Oh, that's not it.
Was he in a movie this year?
Yeah, he was in a movie. All right.
I hope it was.
He was in a movie. So evidently, he didn't get the memo about no politics on the show, but that's okay.
I want to know why the Disney movie Ohana or whatever it was about the Hawaiian girl who has the friend who was voiced by Dwayne Rock Johnson. How did it get any love?
I don't know, but we got to go to headlines. All right. Here's Tom Schmitz with today's headlines. If we can punch this up.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world tonight.
That's the way it is.
That's the first time I'd actually heard the whole thing.
Why didn't you listen to it?
Whole thing.
You also have music under if you turn it up a little bit. If a producer actually paid attention
that's
to the
pretty
production,
good.
It would be interesting if he would do that.
I'm a big fan of Ron Burgundy, so that's pretty good.
There you go.
Hey, here's a surprising off-season story, buddy. Ben Roethlisberger says he's not committed to coming back for 2017.
Says it every year.
He appeared on CBS Radio on Tuesday morning. He said he's been talking with people in his camp and is going to take some time to evaluate and consider whether he comes back or not.
Let me see. He gets how much next year? He got how much left on that bonus?
He's coming back.
$34 million he's got to pay back on a signing bonus, and
he's
$18 million. I think maybe he'll come back.
Gus Malzahn has found his replacement for offensive coordinator Rhett Lashley, bringing Arizona State offensive coordinator Chip Lindsley back to Auburn as the Tigers' new play caller. You like that move?
I don't know enough about him, but I hear good things.
And Michigan announced Monday it'll send football teams to Rome for a week of learning and spring practice towards the end of its winter semester. And all the team will spend 3 of its 15 allotted spring drills training at AS Roma, the city's professional football, a.k.a. soccer club. Jim Harbaugh said, "We are looking to provide our student athletes with a great educational, cultural, and international experience. I'm excited our student athletes will be able to take advantage of this amazing educational opportunity."
Yeah. Guess what? He wants to have a scrimmage in the Coliseum. That's what he wants.
Right. Hey, I'd have went to Michigan if I could have got a free trip to Rome.
You'd gone anywhere to get a free trip. So
there you go. That's the headlines.
All right. Thank you, Tom. And real quick, Hunter, tell them how to get a hold of us, how they can hear us.
They can text us at 352-354-3492, or they can watch us on Facebook Live and comment only on the Buddy Martin Show on the Facebook page.
Yeah, and of course, good question to be today, I'll repeat, was if Bill Belichick gets a chance to cheat and win the Super Bowl, do you think he might do it? Give us a call or actually give us a text right there on that number again. Stay tuned. More coming your way. We'll be talking to Mr. College Basketball himself, Franz Beard, on the Florida Gator Basketball Report, brought to you by Grinders Fine Men's Apparel, next right here on the Buddy Martin Show
on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
How's that kitchen remodel coming along?
I haven't found a reliable contractor and have no idea where to start.
What about Home Advisor?
Home what?
Home Advisor. They match you to pre-screened and top-rated pros for any kind of home project. You can even check pricing and book appointments online.
What's the catch?
No catch. Home Advisor is completely free to use.
Really? I'll check it out.
Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app.
Home Advisor. Bank approval. Vehicle purchase process effects trade alone.
Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. Last month, I took in so many cars on trade, I'm buried in inventory.
It's an inventory avalanche. There's cars everywhere.
Which means right now, you can drive home a nicer, newer ride for just $7 down.
That's right. With approved credit, you can be in driver's heaven for just $7 down.
So don't spend another minute in a car you hate. Come in out of the cold and drive a nicer, newer ride for just $7 down.
Feeling snowed in by past credit mishaps? It's no big deal. My For the People credit approval process makes car buying easy and stress-free. It's an avalanche of approvals.
So don't stay frozen in a car you hate. We want you to stay clear and come in out of the cold and drive for just $7 down. But hurry, we should have this cleaned up in a couple weeks, and this deal won't last to the end of the month. I'm Chris Spears, your dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales today in Ocala or see all the cars at PrestigeForYou.com or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Document Technologies has been helping Ocala business owners save money on their copiers and printers for more than 7 years. Now they've added the full line of award-winning color copiers and printers from CopyStar. CopyStar has a reputation for their overall low cost of ownership and unmatched reliability. Combine that with Document Technologies' fast local service and 5-year guarantee, you have a combination that can't be beat. Plus, they have special programs for nonprofit organizations and government programs. To find out more about how Document Technologies and CopyStar's award-winning color products can help your business, call Bill Schroeder at 352-368-6664 and start saving today. We use Document Technologies, and so should you. Call 352-368-6664.
And in Gainesville at 372-6666.
Document Technologies, the only copier company you'll ever need.
If you or someone you love suffers from drug addiction, now is the time to utilize your private health insurance PPO plan. If eligible, receive up to $30,000 or more in substance abuse benefits with low or no out-of-pocket cost. We are the National Treatment Network, the premier drug and alcohol treatment referral service operating 24/7. We help connect you with facilities nationwide that accepts PPO private health insurance for substance abuse. If you have PPO substance abuse coverage and you need immediate admittance to a medical detox or residential rehab treatment center, call us now. Call our live referral helpline today. The call is free. This program is not available to Medicare or Medicaid customers.
Call 877-247-1584. 877-247-1584. 877-247-1584. That's 877-247-1584.
Welcome back to Buddy Martin Show, Southern Pigskin Radio Network, coming to you live on Facebook. Thanks to all you people. Hey, guys, we had 1,700 people view this show yesterday. Unbelievable. I don't know why. We're not that interesting, but thank you for doing it. We appreciate it. Simply click on the Buddy Martin Show on Facebook Live, and we'll come to you every day except Fridays, and we're even working on that. By the way, before we go to our friend, Mr. College Basketball for us, Franz Beard, a couple of notes I want to get to, and we maybe can get Franz to comment on these later. But one, this happened, the co-offensive coordinator of Oregon was fired over the weekend, because of the DUI and reckless driving. His name is David Reeves. David Reeves also happens to be the son of John Reeves, who coached at South Carolina and had gone to Oregon to coach the Ducks offense, and was passing game coordinator for Willie Daggett. Anyway, we know that, unfortunately, he spent some time in jail, and there's an investigation underway, and he was booked there, and I guess out on bond. So not a good thing for him. He was fired from his job, unfortunately. The Spurrier era is over in Columbia. Scotty Spurrier, the last Spurrier still coaching there on Will Muschamp's staff, was a quality control assistant coach and was hired by Charlie Strong on a similar job at South Florida. So now we got two of the Spurriers here in the state of Florida, coaches, and Bubba, or Steve Jr., is coaching at Western Kentucky, where he's the quarterback's coach and is involved in the offense. So looks like the Spurriers who want to work are working, and we're keeping tabs on what's going on there. Meanwhile, it's time now for the Florida Gator Basketball Report, presented by Grinders Fine Men's Apparel. We go live to Gainesville, and our Mr. College Basketball himself, Franz Beard of FightingGators.com. Hi, Franz. How you doing? Gainesville and our Mr. College.
Well, the victory.
One of them be the right button. I'm sorry, Tom didn't have the right buttons up. Go ahead again. I didn't hear you.
I said, I'm doing better than the Gators right now because last week Gators snatched defeat from the jaws of victory twice.
Yeah, that was a painful week, wasn't it? And a lot of people are grousing about that, obviously, as Florida gets ready to play LSU and hope to find some kind of semblance of a leadership, in my opinion. Tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, they play in the Pete Maravich Assembly Center in Baton Rouge. This team is a mystery. We talked about it some the last couple of days. They looked like they were just about to ascent. They were playing really good basketball. We saw the Vanderbilt game where Sunday you and I had talked about Allen. We needed his shooting. He started hitting threes. The team was playing good, reasonably, although not really great defense. They were not shooting lights out, but it looked like they were going to get some more firepower. But something happened. I mean, Casey Hill didn't really step up like he has been doing. Kenyon Berry sort of disappeared. What was your analysis? And, of course, the last 2 minutes of that game were dreadful. What a time to lose a game with all those recruits there and Jim McElwain giving the pep talk and leading the cheers, and things are about to be turned around, and boom, all of a sudden Vanderbilt came in and knocked down a key shot and put him to sleep. So give me your assessment of that game, Francis.
Well, first and foremost, the Gators let that game be turned into a jump shooting contest, which you're not going to win with Vanderbilt, number one. Number two, by turning it into a jump shooting contest, that's why the Gators only got to the foul line 8 times. Now, they've been getting to the line an average of 20 times a game, hitting somewhere between 14 and 15 a game. They were 6 straight. Take away those 8 or 9 points. Different ball game. And that's what happens when you let the other team dictate your game. And the Gators did that. They were all too content to launch jump shots. And while Kevon Allen hit some, and we saw Devin Robinson rise from the ashes and hit some shots as well. You mentioned Kenyon Berry. Kenyon Berry only played 17 minutes in that ball game. He needed more minutes. And he's the one guy they have that would constantly take the ball to the rack. And I was a little miffed with that decision myself. But all in all, the team got lulled into a jump shooting contest, and they lost it. And defensively, when you play Vanderbilt, it's kind of like Larry Shyatt used to say. You put your heels on the three-point line, and you play defense outward from there. And they didn't do that.
They spread the floor pretty good. This team just know they beat Florida at home like that. And I look at the lineup, and I sometimes wonder. I think Mike Weiss done a terrific job, by the way. But he has not settled on his lineup, and we don't know. He's had Robinson Allen on the bench, which maybe they deserve to be. And in the crunch time, we didn't see Kenyon Berry, who now has scored 19 points in 2 games. He scored 27 in one a couple of weeks ago. And so I'm wondering if he has the right ones on the floor and the right rotation.
Well, I understand why sometimes you want Justin Leon in there, because Justin Leon is Florida's Swiss Army knife. He's their jack of all trades. He doesn't complain. He does the dirty work, etc., like that. But you got to have some balance in there. And Kenyon Berry brings IQ to a team that, quite frankly, without Kenyon Berry, is in the lower platitudes. This is a team that really, really has to change. There has to be some changes in that lineup. Kenyon Berry's got to play more. If he's going to play Justin Leon in that game, he's going to have to play him more as a high post guy, not as a wing guy, etc., like that. And he's going to have to adjust that.
But when Leon started playing pretty good, what did you think?
When Leon started playing and played pretty well, I still thought they needed more Kenyon Berry.
But what happens is maybe when somebody else starts making shots, other guys back off or something. But, if you ever had those guys together playing in the same rhythm, they got the firepower collectively. They don't have it individually if Kenyon Berry's shot's not falling.
Well, Kenyon Berry was, he's a guy that's always on the move, etc., like that. And you pointed out something that was very important, and that was Casey Hill. Casey Hill was not getting the ball to people, and when he did get in the lane and break people down, people were not coming to the basket to attack it. And
I agree.
What can I say? When guys are standing around, it's hard to win ball games, and there wasn't a lot of motion. Mike made an important statement after the game. He said, we had guys in the huddle pointing fingers at each other, and we showed a lot of immaturity, and you can't have that. This is a team that, quite frankly, is capable of being a number 6 or better seed, capable of it. Now, will they be that? That's going to be up to them, because these next 2 ball games, actually the next 3, 2 on the road, and then one at home with Missouri. They've got to win these 3 games. In LSU and Missouri, they're playing teams whose coaches are not going to be coaching next year because they're so bad. And Oklahoma is a team that lost too much firepower last year, and they have no clue where they are. This is Lon Kruger's worst team in his entire coaching career. I'm convinced of that. And these are 3 games Florida's got to win. Florida has to be at 17 wins when Kentucky comes to town, because the rest of February is going to be brutal, because you're going to play Kentucky a second time. You're going to play Georgia on the road. You're going to play South Carolina again. You're going to play Vanderbilt on the road. You look at that, that's a brutal schedule. And Florida's got to be at 17 wins.
Yep.
Franz, my question is this. I told Buddy yesterday on the show that I thought the next couple of games were the most important for this season, because I feel like they're in a spiral downward a little bit right now. And I think LSU, it's going to be a tough place to play. I realize they're not very good, but I think it's very important that the Gators elevate their level of play. And we've talked about them getting into these lulls of playing with teams that aren't necessarily at their level. Do you think these are the 2 most important games coming up?
Well, I think they are, but I think more importantly, I think this LSU game is the single most important game on the schedule. And they cannot, you made a good point, Hunter, they cannot allow themselves to play down to their competition. They have to play better than their competition. They've got a bad habit of playing down to the level of their opponents. And if they do that on the road against LSU and lose this game, this is right now the most winnable game remaining on their schedule other than Missouri. And, you know, one of the two most winnable games left on the schedule. They cannot lose this ball game.
Yeah. All right, Franz Beard. Franz, you heard me talk about the changes at South Carolina, and Scotty Spurrier headed to Charlie Strong's staff down in Tampa, and then, of course, Steve Jr. up at Western Kentucky. So there are a few Spurriers coaching in football, and glad to see that. And be interesting to see how much Steve gets involved down there, because I've already seen a post by Scotty and by Steve Jr. saying, well, he'll be up here for some of our games, so I guess Steve will be going to Kentucky to watch the Hilltoppers play.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Steve Spurrier Jr. is ready to be somebody's offensive coordinator and ready to be somebody's head coach.
Yeah.
He's a great recruiter. He is a terrific guy. He's a terrific people guy, buddy. I mean, kids love him, and he connects with people. And if you give him a chance, he's going to call plays on a wide-open offense. I think in 2 years we'll be seeing him take somebody's head coaching job somewhere.
Well, by osmosis, he's learned a lot, even if he wasn't trying, for sure. Because, like he told me one time, nobody except my mother has been around my father more than me the last 20 years. And he's right. So, all right, Francis, we appreciate it. Once again, the Florida Basketball Report, presented by Grinders Fine Men's Apparel. Franz Beard of FightUnit.com comes to you every Tuesday and Thursday right here on the Buddy Martin Show. Thanks, Franz. Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, guys, recruiting is a big thing right now, and everybody's talking about it. And we had Robbie Andrew on yesterday, and he had a sober approach to things regarding, he said, don't panic, Gator fans. It's early. There's still a lot of 3-stars out there. And I heard, I think it's actually Adam this morning make a good point on the morning show, the starting lineup, when he said, it's not just so much about the stars. It's about how you coach them up and how you improve them. That's one thing Spurrier did great when he was in Florida. He'd get these kids, even walk-ons from PK Young. He developed players. Urban Meyer developed players. Will Muschamp didn't do that. On defense, he did some. Offensively, he did not. But you can take 3-stars and a couple of 4s and maybe 1 5 or something, and you can coach them up as a unit, and you can still win. You may not win national championships. But so we got 30 seconds apiece to comment on this. If you like to, you think Florida is behind the 8 ball, or can the Gators still catch up on the recruiting scene?
Buddy, I think that it's much to do about nothing. You and I have talked about this numerous times. I don't like this 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. I want to see 2 years in where kids are. Then tell me how good a recruiting class was. Because you may have the best player in high school come on the field and not be able to handle the 18 and up bars or the class work and everything and bomb out, even though he's a 5-star recruit, where a 3-star recruit can handle all that and improve on the field. So I think it's much to do about nothing.
Yeah, pretty much what Robbie said yesterday. Hunter, you got about 15 seconds.
Well, I'll just go back to what Tony Barnhart told me, I think it was last week, that he didn't put much weight in recruiting classes because of look at Miami's domination back in the day. They didn't have top 20 recruiting classes, so if he doesn't put much weight in it, I don't put much weight in it.
All right, Woody Page is next from Around the Horn. We'll ask you about the Wade Phillips story out there and also about the head coach. And we're going to talk about my late friend Eben Pope, who we knew quite well. I wrote a column about him this week. He passed away at 88 last week. So all that coming with Woody Page right here in the Buddy Martin Show
on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
Florida Sports Talk is broadcasting live from the Pomodoro Cafe studios. Pomodoro Cafe, located on 39th Avenue in Gainesville. For savory menu items, check out PomodoroCafe.com.
Volkswagen of Ocala's #1 concern has always been great customer service. And now with their full lifetime warranties, they'll serve you even better than before. Volkswagen of Ocala is the best source for new and World Auto certified pre-owned Volkswagen cars, wagons, vans, and SUVs. Their professional and friendly staff can provide you with the best service to find the car you've been looking for. Stop by and see them west of I-75 on Highway 200 or VolkswagenofOcala.com. Volkswagen, the power of German engineering.
Coming up on Tuesday night, it's a district showdown of boys high school basketball as Ocala Forest hosts Gainesville High. The visiting Hurricanes edged the Wildcats by 2 in the first meeting and are currently second in the 7A District 4 standings. Join Marty Palmer and Jack DeSilva for all the exciting play-by-play action beginning at 7 p.m., followed by the tip at 7:30. It's Gainesville at Forest on Tuesday night, a boys high school basketball district showdown right here on Florida Sports Talk, the team in Gainesville and Ocala.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back live at the National Butt Out Finals, and we're down to our last contestant, AJ Langer. He's all fired up. We can see smoke coming out of his nose, and there's a big cloud of smoke around his head. And there he goes. It's out! He put his butt out in 2.6 seconds. Now the judges are checking his butt to make sure every bit of combustible material is extinguished. A thumbs up! A new world record for extinguishing a cigarette. 2.6 seconds. Lori is with AJ. Lori?
AJ, how did you get so good at putting your butt out?
Well, Lori, I burnt the house down. I was a careless smoker.
So you learned the hard way.
Hard and costly way.
You have any tips for the smokers out there?
Oh, you get a sturdy ashtray, push down hard, and twist with the wrist. And let's see who can beat 2.6 seconds.
Right.
If you smoke, put it out. All the way, every time. Smoking is the #1 cause of preventable home fire deaths. Check out usfa.dhs.gov/smoking. A message from the U.S. Fire Administration and firefighters everywhere.
Are you struggling with addiction or alcohol problems? If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Call the Addiction Hope and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares. Call 800-867-0041. 800-867-0041.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction Hope and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares. Call 800-867-0041. 800-867-0041. 800-867-0041.
Just listen to what you've been missing on The Buddy Martin Show.
Okay, Tom, it's time for the Terry Bradshaw Singers to sing us out.
Happy trails to you. It's good to be in Gainesville with all my friends.
Good, nice.
I used to go to college and I learned how to cheat on the kids next to me.
I think we better stop there, Terry.
The Buddy Martin Show, weeknights at 6, right here on Florida Sports Talk Radio.
Just keep listening, and you'll never look at your radio the same way again.
Florida Sports Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Buddy Martin Show, the Southern Pigskin Radio Network. Go all the way out to Colorado, or as we sometimes call it, Colorado. To my friend Woody Page, who's coming out of the clinic where he's just had an analysis on his knee, which we'll get to in just a moment. Woody, of course, one of the stars, one of the original members of the cast. I think is that box number 2? I've forgotten which one. It's Hollywood Squares on, of course, one of your favorite shows that we have in the neighborhood, and we watch it religiously, and I can think of the name, I'd mention it.
Around the horn.
I know it's a joke. It's a joke. Woody Page, of course, he writes on woodypage.com. There are other great columnists who write on that website as well. You can hear him, you can see him. He writes, of course, his column in the Gazette.
Can we get this over with?
I got to hold on. Just be quiet. Woody is born in Tennessee. He went to work and Woodrow, I'm sorry you had problems with your knee, my friend. What's going on there?
Well, I'm concerned more so about, it sounds like you got a bunch of my relatives working for you there. Before you hire people that work with you, do you check to see that they have most of their teeth?
Yeah, they all have teeth, and they have an IQ of at least 100. So there you go.
Yeah,
so that sounds like your family.
You know, the toothbrush was invented in Tennessee. You knew that, didn't you?
How come they don't use it?
Yeah, because if it was invented anywhere else, it'd be called a teeth brush.
Yeah. Yeah, that probably made it to your board at one time, I'm sure. The chalkboard?
Yeah, I don't know whether it did or not. But, we'll get that out of the way. I have a torn meniscus. Football players, mostly running backs, have it. So I either tore it in my left meniscus in my knee. I either tore it in a triathlon or falling off a bar stool. Which one would you guess?
I'm going to think A. Because you don't sit on bar stools. No, but now, Woody, seriously, you have to have you have surgery, right?
Well, not during the show, but
well, you never know. You still got time.
I asked him if he could schedule it next week so I wouldn't have to go to the Super Bowl.
Well, tell people how much fun the Super Bowl is, Woody. We covered a couple together. It's just nothing but a lot of good beer and cheese and wine, sitting around talking, not doing any work, right?
Well, there's a lot of whining going on, but I don't know about wine. It's sort of, you've gone through this your whole life. It's amazing to me, and people, they go, you get paid to go to games? You get to go to all the games? And I go, no, I have to go to all the games, but I do get paid, but not very much. I have an assistant, Madison, that works with me on Around the Horn, and I said, look up because Ben Roethlisberger, as you probably heard today, is talking about the possibility of retiring.
Right.
And I said, look up and see what he's going to make next year. And she said, well, he signed a contract for $78,000. And I said, I think you're missing a zero. I said, you're talking about your salary and mine put together. I think it was $78 million.
Yeah, and he's got that big signing bonus, which he had to pay about, what's that, $34 million or something, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I heard your podcast, Woody. I want to say that Woody's got a podcast now with Jay Mariani, which is interesting because they were each other's nemesis for years on Around the Horn, but it worked really well because people love to see you like the Cobra and the Mongoose, you know. So now you guys are back on the air together.
I'm gonna move back to the South and start a show called Around the Corn because that's your favorite. You have to tell your story one day about you and the corn on the way to Greeley at Broncos training camp. For all the people out there, every year he would recycle a column and say, well, the corn is up to your ear this year. That means the Broncos are going to have a great season.
Oh, wait a minute. You're short shrift to me. I stopped on Greeley on the way back and walked through the corn and read the I did my research, Woody. Come on, man.
Yeah, it was his field of nightmares.
Well, I'll tell you this much. It's only thing I'm ever known for writing in Denver, apparently. So there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Woody, let me ask you real quick. I'm sorry. I want to tell you, John DeMott said to tell you hello.
That's great. I appreciate it. That's your good friend. The reason why that I'm a little goofy, you can't tell the difference, but I'm a little goofier because I am on a serious painkiller. So make sure you don't keep me on for an hour and a half because I'm going to get a little gritty.
You're goofy when you're not on painkiller. What do you mean? Hey, listen, you didn't hear what I said. John DeMott said, tell Woodrow hello from Palm Beach.
Oh, good for him and good for, I wish I was there.
Yeah, I know you do. So I told him to save your room for you.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Woodrow, we only have an hour show here, and so if we don't get into this, we won't get it in before the bell. I want to get a couple things quickly, and I'll give you the rest of the time. I want to get to, first of all, real quick, the Wade Phillips story. He's a friend of yours, friend of mine, a class guy. Now he's, of course, never was renewed, apparently, and wasn't going to be signed by the Broncos. He takes off and leaves, and now they're starting to spread rumors about him in Denver. I guess they're rumors, and down in Houston, saying he caused a division among the offense and defense. This doesn't sound right to me. I mean, is that true?
Well, let me tell you what the truth is, but let's start. I'll walk it backward.
All right.
The guy who did the report is at the Senior Bowl, and I don't know whether you've ever gone to Mobile for the Senior Bowl, but it's a bunch of scouts and ex-coaches and wannabes that all they do is sit around and think up rumors and pass rumors, something they heard on a dirt road or something on the way to Mobile from Montgomery. And so I don't put a lot of attention into that, first of all. But there was, I will tell you this, and this is the truth, there was a division between John Elway, Gary Kubiak, and Wade Phillips, because what happened at the end of the Broncos year, and people who watched any of their games or pay any attention to the Broncos, that there was a special teams fumble, and Aqib Talib shoved the guy when he came off the field. And then after the last game on Christmas Day at Kansas City, one of the offensive players got up to say something about how important it was, and the defensive players shouted him down and said, "Sit down, you're the cause of all the problems." So there was a disconnect between the offense and the defense. And it seems that if the general manager and the executive vice president, really the guy that's running everything with Pat Bowlen's illness, John Elway, and Wade Phillips, who had worked together forever in previous times with the Broncos. There was blame placed on Wade Phillips for maybe spearheading that the defensive players were so opposed to what the offense was not being able to do and keeping the defense on the field. And that was a game where the defense gave up like 40 points or something to Kansas City. So it would have seemed to me that if there wasn't truth to that Wade Phillips, who was in the last year, he had a 2-year contract, given that he was the assistant coach of the year in the NFL last year and really was responsible for them getting to and winning the Super Bowl as a coach, that they would have signed him to a long-term deal if there wasn't some division there between the two sides. And so he basically announced his own goodbye by saying, I didn't have a job 2 years ago. I was on the Super Bowl championship team. Now I'm without a job. So I think it makes no sense. You know Wade as well as I do. Yeah. Wade is a good old boy from Texas. He's my age. We're all in the same age group. He's as far as he can be from being a guy that would cause problems. If anything, the reason why he didn't keep the Dallas Cowboys job is people didn't feel like he was enough of a disciplinarian.
Too nice of a guy, they said, right?
Yeah, and that's been his problem in terms of being a head coach, that people felt like he wasn't strong enough in his words and his actions toward his players. But the players to a man loved him like a father.
I know, and that's why I couldn't figure it out. The story didn't jibe to me, and I'm glad you said it. You explained it like that, so now we understand. I believe in people. I believe in Wade Phillips. I couldn't believe that was true. What do I want to get this ended for you right now, because this is an important part I want to get to. You and I were friends with Evan Pope. I've known him a little bit longer than you have. We talked with him many times, had many good laughs at the Masters together. And last week, when Evan died at age 88, I sat down to sort of think about it, and I wrote this column, which was on your website, WoodyPage.com, and, of course, on MyBuddyMartinMedia.com. And I know that you knew a lot of these stories, but probably one of my favorite stories, it will tell us in Edmund's honor, was the story about his former colleague at the Atlanta Journal, Bill McGrotha, later the Tallahassee Democrat. Furman Bisher, a late friend of ours, too, was known as a tyrant back in those days as a sports editor, as you know. People were scared to death of Bisher. If he said, have you got a minute? You knew you were in for a tough time in his office. So apparently, back in the days when they were covering all this college football, Bill McGrotha was going to cover a game in Furman, went there in a small plane, and the plane crashed in the cornfield. And the story goes, although Pope kind of semi-denies it, that when McGrotha called in collect after crashing in a cornfield, he said to Pope, Eddie, I'm not going to make the game today. He said, why not? He said, my plane crashed in a cornfield on the way. And Pope said, what will I tell Bisher? But I love the stories about Eben, and of course we all know what a great writer he was. He left the Journal-Constitution because the paper wouldn't buy a new pencil sharpener for $1.79. So there you go. I wanted to get your recollections and put in perspective in your words what Pope meant to journalism and what a gentleman he was.
My first thought when I heard of his loss was what happened last year. As you well know, he was one of only 4 writers. It was down to 4 writers who'd covered every Super Bowl. Every Super Bowl. Think about that.
Yep.
49 Super Bowls, and he missed his first Super Bowl, number 50, because the Miami Herald wouldn't pay for his trip. And I thought, you've earned that right. I mean, and the National Football League said it would pay for his trip. And Edwin said, if my own newspaper is not going to pay for me to go to the Super Bowl, I'm not going. And I thought, there's a man that stood for his values, stood for his strength. It's going back to the story you told, that when he was a young sports editor and he wanted a new pencil sharpener and they wouldn't buy it for him, and so he quit. I think that even though he was very diminutive, and that's a good way of putting it, he was a very slight man. he was one of the strongest people I ever met. I mean, one of the funniest, one of the sharpest, one of the best writers in the country. And my second thought was that you and I used to go to Super Bowls, and we'd go into the media hospitality room. I don't even think they have that anymore. And over in the corner would be the Mount Rushmore of sports writers.
Blackie Sherrod, Jim Murray, Evan Pope. Who else?
Furman Bisher.
Yeah.
The numbers really don't matter, but there'd be a group of 5 or 6 guys that we all respected, that we had grown up reading, that we wanted to be like, that were wordsmiths. That's what I call great writers. They appreciated the written word, and they, I don't want to say agonized, but they really put a lot of thought into every word. And I remember thinking and saying to you and saying to some other guys who were younger, in our 30s or in our 40s, saying, someday that will be us. That I hope that we're in a position where we can sit in the corner and you go, man, there's Abraham Lincoln, there's George Washington, there's Teddy Roosevelt, there's Thomas Jefferson. We obviously have never reached that level, but that's the kind of respect that those guys had, that they were such great writers, they were such great opinionists. And my next thought was, in seeing Blackie Sherrod die, Jim Murray, we lost him years ago, Furman Bisher, not that long ago, Edwin Pope, that what's wrong today, to me, in the world is we don't have writers anymore. What we have are people that are tweeting. We have guys, I read every column, and people don't want to care about this other than me and you, but everything I read on the internet, and I go, didn't anybody take a grammar course? Didn't anybody take a writing course in English class? I mean, we have lost, newspapers are going out of business, but we have lost what writers like Edwin Pope gave us. Great stories, great writing, great thought.
And style and grace.
And there was not anybody. I covered Wimbledons with him. I covered Super Bowls like you. We covered dozens of Masters together. And Edwin he would probably be one of the first people out of the press box, but it was because he started earlier than everybody else.
That's right.
And he took a long time to really go over his words. And I look and see what we have in the world today, and people are turning out crap in 10 minutes. And I will tell a story on Buddy. We used to be in an old Quonset hut at Augusta National at the Masters, and Buddy and we used typewriters before computers, and Buddy came up with a poem. He said, tap, 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 crap, crap, crap. Well, guess what? That's actually what's going on today in the world of sports writing.
Actually, that came from the Atlanta Journal writer, Ed, what was his name? He was the old golf writer there. And what was his name? We should remember it. But anyway, it's the same story.
Ed Shearer.
No, it wasn't Ed Shearer. He was a UPI guy. I'll think of it. But you're right.
I have given you credit for that. I got
well, that's okay. Go ahead and give me credit. I'll take it. Sometimes mention on around the horn or something.
I'll tell you what, Edwin Pope and I will remember my first Kentucky Derby. And Edwin Pope, when I was talking about getting there early, getting ahead of everybody else and what he was going to write, and you wrote it in the column that was so eloquently put, and I made it the lead. It's been the lead story on my website for the last 3 days, and it's going to be left there for several days. And I found I thought a brilliant photo of him to go with it, and illustrate it. But Edwin Pope and he told me, I said, what's the best way to cover this event, Edwin? And he said, get to the barns at 4:30 in the morning. And I thought of all the things I wanted to do was get to a barn at Churchill Downs at 4:30 in the morning. Yeah. But the next morning I was there at 4:30 because he had told me to do it.
It was a great thing to be. Yeah.
And he had been there for 30 minutes before.
Yeah.
And we're standing in the dark in May in a cold, and I don't know how to put this so delicately, but we're putting our hands over the horse manure that had been taken out of the barn, and we would heat our hands in 4:30 in the morning and talk about stories while we were both smelling this fragrance and warming ourselves. And I thought, That's the column almost.
Yeah. Woody, they're telling me I got to go here. I'm running up against a break. They're going to cut us off. But thank you for your time and very much. And thank you for allowing me to write for your website. And all the best to you and Around the Horn. And best of luck on your knee, my man. I'll talk to you soon. All right? Appreciate it very much.
Bury my knee at Wounded Hill.
Okay. Woody Page, Around the Horn. More coming your way right here on The Buddy Martin Show.
On the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
The time is now for your first RV or an RV upgrade. At America Choice RV, they'll make the RV buying process as easy and affordable as can be. With select 2016 travel trailers on sale at America Choice RV, with payments under $150 a month for qualified buyers, and over 400 RVs on sale, America Choice RV is the place to buy an RV. Find them in North Ocala off of 441 North today, or visit them online at AmericaChoiceRV.com. You can also call 1-800-RV-SALES to find your dream RV.
Paper products are an essential part of any business, big or small. Concord Print Shop in Ocala supplies our personalized letterhead, envelopes, business cards, and so much more. Coupled with the unmatched quality of their work, the personal customer service sets Concord Print Shop apart. Call Concord Print Shop today at 352-629-0736. That's 352-629-0736. Concord Print Shop in Ocala. We make you look good on paper.
Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. Last month, I took in so many cars on trade, I'm buried in inventory.
It's an inventory avalanche. There's cars everywhere.
Which means right now, you can drive home a nicer, newer ride for just $7 down.
That's right. With approved credit, you can be in driver's heaven for just $7 down.
So don't spend another minute in a car you hate. Come in out of the cold and drive a nicer, newer ride for just $7 down.
Feeling snowed in by past credit mishaps? It's no big deal. My For the People credit approval process makes car buying easy and stress-free. It's an avalanche of approvals.
So don't stay frozen in a car you hate. We want you to stay clear and come in out of the cold and drive for just $7 down. But hurry, we should have this cleaned up in a couple weeks, and this deal won't last to the end of the month. I'm Chris Spears, your dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales today in Ocala or see all the cars at PrestigeForYou.com or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Car accident, work accident, wrongful death, personal injury, Social Security disability. Contact Daniel L. Hightower, lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. Call 352-629-7777. That's 352-629-7777. Or visit danhightower.com. Offices in Ocala, Florida.
Looking for exceptional golfing conditions with the best experience? Stone Creek Golf Club must be your choice. The plush conditions and the rolling hills of Ocala's countryside make it hard to play anywhere else. After your round, don't forget to stop into their full-service bar and grill with their big screen televisions to enjoy the big game. Great food, great golf, and great people make for a great golfing experience. Only at Stone Creek Golf Club in Ocala. For tee times, call 352-854-1272 or visit StoneCreekGolfOcala.com for other specials.
Not only does Triple Crown manufacture trailers, but they also service and repair all makes right at their facility. From boat trailers to enclosed trailers and everything in between. So challenge Triple Crown with your bearing job, rewiring, welding repairs, gate addition, hitch installation, or accessory. They're happy to help you service all trailers at Triple Crown Trailers. Call them today at 352-368-7885. That's 352-368-7885. And speak to their knowledgeable service staff to schedule your next appointment. Or stop by and visit Triple Crown's 2,100 square foot parts showroom at 4251 South Pine Avenue in Ocala. You can count on Triple Crown Trailers for quality service when you need it.
This is your Florida Sports Talk station.
Now it's time for Buddy's Golden Nuggets.
I love gold. The taste of it, the smell of it, the texture.
different LeBron James. The Cavs lost to a woeful Pelicans team. The team is 18-27 last night. Their fifth loss in 7 games, and LeBron complained that there was a lack of a bench, and the injuries they had were hurting the team. Fans look back last year at James' semi-rant and subsequent title game, and they say, that's leadership, or that's just LeBron being LeBron, or I say LeBron being the GM. Okay, that's cool, but be careful what you ask for, because in the end, there needs to be separation between church and state. There's a difference between the guys who wear the long pants and the short pants. That's today's Golden Nugget. Now here's Hunter with a little information.
Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Buddy Martin Show, and check out Buddy's latest columns and videos at BuddyMartinMedia.com.
I want to thank our guests today, Woody Page and Franz Beard. Buddy, but it's time for this day in sports history.
What year?
I try to give you some hints. The year
Just
was
give me a year.
1962.
62. The Packers won something.
No.
Okay.
January 24th, 1962. Jack Nicklaus, 21 years old, plays in his first professional tournament. He came in 50th, 5-0, but what a great career he had. 18 majors, 19 second-place finishes in the majors.
Only Jack Nicklaus remembers that date, by the way. Just okay. Been a good show today. Appreciate everybody's help. On behalf of my broadcast partners, Thomas Spence, Hunter Turner, thanks to Brendan Martin, and our intern, David Nash, I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great night, everybody.